Good day! In today's lesson, we will be dealing with two kinds of pronouns, which are reflexive and intensive pronouns. Again, when we say pronouns, these are used to replace a noun. So let's find out what's the difference between reflexive and intensive pronoun. So what is a reflexive pronoun? When we say reflexive pronoun, it refers back to the subject of the sentence. Again, when we say subject, it means the doer of the action. So reflexive pronoun can be done by the formula pronoun plus self or selves. We use self if we are pertaining to singular subject or one subject. And we use selves if we are pertaining to plural subjects or two or more subjects. So examples of reflexive pronouns are myself, himself, herself, yourself, itself, themselves, and ourselves. Another way to know if the pronoun is a reflexive pronoun is that before reflexive pronoun, a verb comes first. Again, when we say verb, it is an action word. So let's take a look in our example. He wanted to impress her, so he baked a cake himself. Our reflexive pronoun here is the word himself. As you may notice, himself refers back to the subject who is he. And you will also notice that before the reflexive pronoun, a verb comes first, which is the word bake. Next example. Jennifer does chores herself because she doesn't trust others to do them right. So the reflexive pronoun used here is the word herself. And this pronoun refers to or pertains to our subject who is Jennifer. Another thing that will help you see that herself is our reflexive pronoun is that before it, there is a verb which is the word does. Next, we don't have to go out. We can cook dinner ourselves. The reflexive pronoun used here is the word ourselves. And this refers back or pertains to our subject, which is we. You may also notice that before ourselves, there is a verb which is cook. So that's the fastest way of knowing if the pronoun is a reflexive pronoun. Before it, there is a verb. Now let's proceed to the intensive pronoun. When we say intensive pronoun, it only adds intensity or emphasis to another noun or pronoun. Meaning, even if we remove that in the sentence, the meaning of the sentence will not change. So intensive pronoun can be written following the formula pronoun plus self or selves. So examples we have myself, himself, herself, itself, yourself, themselves, and ourselves. Now let's have sample sentences. Jesse wondered aloud whether he himself was the only one seeing what was happening. So the intensive pronoun used here is the word himself. This is the intensive pronoun because even though we remove that, the meaning of the sentence will not change. Now let's try. Jesse wondered aloud whether he was the only one seeing what was happening. So here, nothing's changed. The meaning is still the same. It is still Jesse who wondered aloud in the sentence. So the intensive pronoun himself only adds emphasis. Another way that can help you determine if the pronoun is an intensive pronoun is that before that intensive pronoun, a noun or pronoun comes first. In our example, before the intensive pronoun himself, there is a pronoun he. So that's the fastest way to determine if the pronoun is an intensive pronoun or not. Another example, we ourselves are the ones who make the greatest impact upon the world we live in. The intensive pronoun used here is the word ourselves. It only adds emphasis to another pronoun, we. Even if we remove the intensive pronoun, ourselves, the meaning of the sentence will not change. Let's try to read. We are the ones who make the greatest impact upon the world we live in. So same meaning, nothing's changed. Another thing that will help you identify if the word ourselves is an intensive pronoun is that before it, there is a pronoun first, which is the word we. Now let me give you other sample sentences and try to identify whether they are reflexive and intensive pronoun. The mayor herself appeared at the rally. Is it a reflexive or intensive? Okay, so this one is an intensive pronoun because it only adds emphasis to a noun, mayor. Even if we remove that, the meaning of the sentence will not change. Another thing that makes it an intensive pronoun is before herself there is a noun who is the mayor. Next example. Please make yourselves at home while you wait. Is it a reflexive or intensive? Okay, so this is an example of a reflexive because it refers back to the subject you, and at the same time before the reflexive pronoun, there comes a verb first, which is the word make. If we are going to remove the reflexive pronoun yourselves, the meaning of the sentence will change. So it is correct that sentence number 2 is a reflexive pronoun. So that's the end of our discussion for today. Thank you.